taking away St. Brown, making it hard to go there. How rewarding is it that the J-Mo is paying off when it matters most?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's going to happen, and I think what makes us a good offense in the past is that last week it was Jameson, and this week it could be him again, but it could be anyone. It could be Sam, it could be Khalif, it could be obviously St. Brown is a big part of it, but it could be anyone, and that's what's good about our offense.
Terrell mentioned earlier today that he's never had a running back. Coach Terrell?
Got it.
I mentioned that he never had two running backs that do the same thing so well in two different styles. Just your thoughts on being the quarterback that has these two running backs that both run well on these different styles.
Sure. I think they're both very unique in their own way, but we're lucky to have them both. I mean, you look around the league, I don't know how many guys have two guys that you feel so confident in, and they do both bring a little different style, and that's what makes it dangerous. Is you can't really prepare for just one of them. You got to prepare for both of them, and sometimes we're able to get both of them on the field, and that makes it even harder. But yeah, it's fun to have them.
Jared, I'm in the backyard here from your perspective as a veteran quarterback. We see quarterbacks around the league mostly week one. It's like there's some rust there. I don't know if rust is the right term, but it just takes a minute to get in a rhythm. How do you evaluate yourself early in the season when you're still trying to, I guess, find your way with all the different new pieces or new plays?
Yeah, I think we've had a ton of practices up to this point to get into that rhythm, and the week one stuff. There are things that happen. I think for us, I said it in the post game, it was more operational, pre-snap, procedural. The stuff post-snap we can fix, and we will fix the stuff pre-snap too. But the stuff post-snap was just execution better, and we weren't at our best in the past game. Certainly, I wasn't at my best, and I don't think it's can attribute it to just being week one. I think it's just sometimes that happens, and try to improve the next week and not do it again.
How rewarding is it to not be your best or past game?
Yeah, sure.
But to still be able
to win the game. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, and I think there's certain teams that can't say that that where the offense is struggling and you kind of lose a game because of that, and we were struggling. The defense had our back. I mean, think about at the end there. We give them the ball back with 4 minutes or so, and for us to get the ball back in our hands prior to the 2-minute warning, that's kind of unheard of in that situation, and it's huge.
In your preparation, standard for himself, obviously not his best game that he's had since he's been here. How was he the next day? You guys got the win, obviously, but how was he?
He's fine, man. He's incredible. He's a captain on this team. He's a leader. He knows he's going to get his. It's just a matter of time. It just wasn't that game for whatever a multitude of reasons. It's just sometimes that happens, but he knows he'll get his.
It's not often players in those moments. I mean, we see the success, but what do you learn about him when he's not getting the targets and things aren't necessarily going his way, and how he act character-wise?
Yeah, he's a leader. He's a captain. He's got the C on his chest for a reason, and I know he still wants the ball. Of course he does. All those receivers want the ball, but I think he understands when we're able to win a game and he doesn't get as involved as maybe he'd like. He's good with it. We're winning the game, and we're trying to win a Super Bowl this year. And it's 1 week at a time, and he knows that. And like I said, he'll get his, and he also knows that.
It's not often the schedule shakes out the way it does, but to have an opponent that you saw just a few months ago, one of the last games that you did play, how much do you go back to that divisional game just from either a schematic standpoint or something, just to kind of?
Yeah, you look at it, you do, and you see, you can play the game all day long of, okay, we did this and they did that, so how are they going to counter this, and then we got to counter that, and that's that's a long rabbit hole you can go down. So you just try to prepare for it like it's another game, and watch that tape as if it's another game, and understand there are some certain things that they were trying to take away from us, but at the same time, I'm sure they'll try to take away something else this game, so we'll have to adjust as we go.
A lot of QBs don't do well with the amount of blitz packages that Todd Bowles brings. You have
with who?
With Todd Bowles,
yeah,
and
sure.
Just the pressure packages he brings. You've dealt with them pretty well through your career. Why do you think why have you had success? Do you think
he's got me too, though. So I mean, we were able to play pretty well the last 2 times, but I've played him a handful of times in my career, and he's gotten me too. So he's a great coach. They'll have some good blitzes dialed up. I'm sure they will. They're a pressure team, and we'll be ready to handle them.
Do you see a lot of variation every time with just the types of pressures he brings?
By them?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they've got a ton of them. They really do, and they'll probably have one for us next week that they haven't shown on film, and we'll react accordingly.
Thank you, guys.
Aidan, when you dominate a game in that facet where you're pressuring a QB all game long, how much did you need that sack at the end to just put it over the top for you?
I think it just came to me at the end, and I was working for it all game and finally held the ball a little bit, so I got my opportunity, and it felt great. It felt great.
How do Do you deal at all with frustration when you're winning your one-on-ones throughout the course of the game and you're just not getting the reward in the box score, I guess?
Yeah. I feel like that's what last year taught me a little bit. So I feel like this year my mentality has become a little bit different, and I think I can deal with that kind of adversity better. Just been going through last year a little bit of it. So I think last year helped, and I think every year you grow as a player, and I feel like my mental growth has helped me in that aspect.
We know the value of pressure. I mean, it still matters. There was even the interception. There was pressure there. 26, I think, across the board for the defensive line. What did you like about not just your performance, but the collective group's ability to impact the quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's always very important. That's our main job description, is to get pressure, and I think we did that, and I think we got a lot of our personnel. We got a lot of guys who can create pressure, and we just got DJ back too. So I think it's only the sky's really the limit for us, and I think we're just going to continue to get better as a group and continue to affect the quarterback.
Can you feel the benefits of Davenport and Levi? I mean, the impact that they had. Can you feel that where you're, when you're coming off the edge? Definitely.
I think, Marcus he's just one of those guys that he's just like a specimen of a human being, and I just knew he was gonna. In camp I saw it, and I just knew I was ready for him to just kind of pop off a little bit, and he missed a couple, but the opportunities were there for him, and that's big.
How does DJ make you guys more dangerous?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think he's a dog. I think he's going to stop the run. He's going to push the pocket. He's really just going to be great for it. DJ is just such a good player, so I'm really excited to have him back.
Dan was talking about the importance of playing against teams that have the capability to win a division. How important is it stacking these wins up against playoff teams that you faced just a year ago?
Yeah, I think these NFC teams that we're beating, it's huge. We got to keep beating them, and we got to keep I think I was talking to Alex, and we just kind of split it up in these four-game little series, and 3-1, 4-0, like that's really the goal, and all these little four-game, I don't even know what you call it, a little bunch. So yeah, I think we're ready. I think mentally this team is prepared for adversity and prepared to handle all the pressure and expectation.
I know it's been one game, but how do you feel like you're better as a pass rusher?
I think every year I take a big step, and I think I've definitely found more ways to be three-dimensional as a pass rusher, as in having a counter, having a power, having an edge. And I think when you can have all those three things, you can be pretty dangerous as a pass rusher.
Overall, Tampa Bay's offense hasn't changed that much since you saw them last in that divisional round. How much do you take from a game like that heading into this one? Because the circumstances are completely different, but still a very similar type team that you're going to face again.
Yeah, they're a good team. We knew we were going to start the year off with these good playoff caliber teams, and the expectation doesn't change though. We gotta go and dominate as a defense and get the job done, and the plan is to go home Sunday 2-0.
We spoke to Lynn. We said kind of the mindset is for you guys to become violent. We feel like that's like a strength for you guys. Like, we talk about just the mindset of this defense, how nasty you guys want to be, heading into this season, just the season period.
Yeah, that's been the goal all camp long. Is whenever we're all on the field, we're all just crashing out, and we're all just selling out for each other. And I think we've done that all year. We showed it in week 1, and we're going to continue to improve on it.
You get to go against
a little more slippery than you thought. I know you saw him last year, but it seemed like he evaded a potential sack a few times, and you seemed to have him in your grasp.
Yeah, he's a little slippery, but I feel like I could have still made it, but it's all good. Yeah, it is what it is.
You guys were jawing back. I'll say this: it looked like he had a fun time jawing back and forth with you. Do you feel like you've talked more in your career as you've gotten older here, or has that always been part of your game?
No, I didn't talk to him. He was talking to me just to get that, and I just, I was kind of just on to the next one. But no, he's a great competitor, and it's always fun playing against quarterbacks that really want to win, and you know they want to win. And he's had some big throws in a lot of high pressure situations where he's getting hit, so you kind of just say good throw, and then you move on, and then it's 1st and 10, and you're kind of you reset the whole thing. So I love playing against him. I just think he's just playing against other guys who want to compete. It's fun.
When you get a guy that caliber, though, jawing back and forth with you, does it show how big of a factor you're becoming in the NFL when a guy of that caliber is kind of?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too much into the chatter on the field. I'm in my own little world in my head. So, yeah, I mean, it's fun though. It's competitive.
You have this great benefit of going against Panay and Decker to sharpen your game daily. You're going to face one of the best in this league in Wirfs this week. What is your scouting report from battling him twice last year? What makes him exceptional at his position?
Again, I think he's just like a freak of a human being. You just look at him and he's massive. He's got these huge arms, and he's going to try to punch you. So I feel like I've been going against Wirfs now since the Iowa days. I played him back at Iowa, so I feel like we've seen each other a lot, and it's always, again, playing against good competition. It's fun, because I know he's going to give me his best, and I'm going to give him my best, and then we see how the cards fall.
It's not another game. It's just the next game up. I'm not going to get too personal about it or emotional about it. It's just business, and they're just the next opponents on our way.
You keep in contact much with either Mike or Chris?
No, not really. When I see them, it's all love. I'm going to forever have love for those guys, but Sunday's business.
You said you won't let it get too personal.
Mm-mm.
When Sunday comes, you see that uniform across you, though, for the first time. How hard is it going to be to fight that emotion that is so human in so many of us?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't experienced it yet. So I guess we'll see what happens when it happens. But for now, I'm not trying to feed into the emotions of it or like the personal relationships or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's a business. And we got a game, and somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. So it's my job to make sure we win.
How much you looking forward to that secondary getting a second round added to, and they're so close to so many different plays yourself.
Yeah.
Brian, and just seeing the kind of what ifs from the tape. Are you excited to maybe get back out there again and
Of
correct
course.
those what ifs?
Yeah, man. It was something to build off of for sure, and it was fun playing with those guys for the first time in live action, man. We got a lot of talent around us. I'm excited. So to get out there again this week in front of our home crowd is going to be really fun. And I'm excited to see what we all do and just capitalize on the plays that we could have made.
Is this a giant step?
A giant step in.
Like improvement.
Oh.
Forward. I mean, you talked about how you're comfortable with the guys last week and all that.
Yeah.
This week, is it a giant step or just a baby step to continue that?
Well, like Coach says, man, we just got to keep going, doing this, and getting better every week, whether it's a little bit or a lot. We just want to get better in some sort of fashion. So we'll see how big that step is next week or this week coming up. But, we just want to build off of what we did, make some plays that we probably missed, and just capitalize on any opportunities we have.
Now that you look at the film, can you assess how comfortable actually Tyrion did look out there, especially for his first game?
Oh yeah, he did. He did look comfortable. Obviously, he was a rookie, so first game, it's going to be whatever it is. They gave him some calls that I didn't agree with, but it's just all a part of the game and them getting to know you as a player.
We're walking up a little late, but just how much did Mike sharpen you early in your career, just going against him daily?
Oh yeah, he sharpened me a lot. Going up against Mike for 6 years has definitely made me a better corner. I always loved going up against him and Chris, and I'm forever respect those guys, and got a lot of respect for them, and forever thankful for them.
You had a pretty big week one going up against Commanders.
Yeah.
What makes Mike Evans such a special receiver from going up against him in practice? Now you get to face him.
I mean, he just got good body control. His mentality is different, the way he approaches the game. And he's always been a great player, always been a playmaker, always been somebody you can depend on. But I don't really want to talk too much about how good he is. Like, come on now.
What was it like being on this side of the noise, wearing Honolulu blue and silver inside Ford Field?
It was so electrifying. I almost went to the other sideline because I was so used to going over there. I got messed up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm over here." But it was fun to be on that side, to be on the side of the crowd, And just seeing how much these fans love this team and how much the city comes out and support this team is amazing.
What kind of identity are you starting to see being built in that secondary that you guys have?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
What kind of identity do you see being built in the secondary that you have now?
Man, we just got playmakers, man. We want to be locked down. We want to be able to make plays all throughout the game, man. We just want to be known as playmakers. We want to be known as guys who change the game and guys that this team can depend on in any down or situation.
I also walked up a little bit late, so I'm sure they asked about the trade, but can you just take me through again, like the moment that you found out, what goes through your head? And, you know, are you, on a human level even, you know, like, are you mad you get traded? Are you happy you come here? How did that whole thing?
It's just all an emotional roller coaster. Obviously, it's like very random. Don't expect it. But then you start to realize what opportunity lies ahead with the Detroit Lions and how good of a team this is and the culture here. So, you know, you buy into it, and it's a process, just adjusting, you know, being so familiar with Tampa and being there for so long, and then coming here and having that change, but buying into it and having teammates and people around you that's helping you buy in and that's welcoming you into this organization that wants you here. So, you know, that's what it's all about is, you know, being a family and growing with these guys and growing chemistry. So we've been doing that so far, and the change has been a good change for me. It's been a good pace. I like the guys around me, and I'm happy to be here.
Just given the personal nature of it, what does this game mean to you?
Yeah, it's not personal for me at all. I could never really get personal with these type of games because it's all business. They're just like the next opponent in our way, and it's a long journey. So, like I said, man, it's a business. I do have a lot of love for those guys over there, but on Sunday, it's football, man. There's no friends on the field, and it won't be on Sunday.
From what you saw, what led to Baker Mayfield's kind of resurgence?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even tell you. I'm not even. I mean, I guess he's always been kind of good. I don't know if it was situations for him, but he came into Tampa and did what he had to do.
Carlton, just lastly, when the schedule dropped and you saw Bucs week 2, did you circle it? What was your reaction to the idea of seeing those guys kind of right off the bat?
It was definitely like a shocker to be able to see them early, but you know, it's the NFL. Like we was bound to play them, whether they made the playoffs or at some point we would have had to see them, and I would have had to face them as my former team. But like I said, man, honestly, this isn't something that I'm circling. This isn't something that's like personal for me. It's more so business. I more so want to win this game for the 2024 Detroit Lions than I am trying to get payback or anything like that. I'm not bitter about anything that's going on. I'm happy I'm here, and I'm just moving forward and looking forward.
It's tougher mentally than physically, and I don't know, like, when was the point where you cleared that mental hurdle?
I think the first 6 weeks are the hardest part, just because you got to keep your leg completely straight. Like, you can't move it. So you're sitting in bed, you're just sitting there every single day with a straight leg. And obviously, it's my second time doing it. Then you get to start moving it just a little bit. And then you just start being able to strengthen it, and then that's the whole process. So it's just, I think it's hard both physically and mentally. I think the mental part is just not being able to do what you used to be able to do right off the rip. When you're starting to feel better and you don't warm up the same. It takes you a little bit longer. These things, you know, everything's just a little bit more. But, you know, you learn about a lot about yourself in those times and about who you are. And when I kind of set out on this rehab process, I knew, you know, had no plans to stop until I was back to where I felt good. And so that's just what it is. You got to take it a day at a time and go out there and put your best foot forward every day and let those chips fall where they may.
Feel like you're ready to roll on Sunday? Oh, sorry. Feel like you're ready to roll on Sunday?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm excited about where I'm at. Excited to just get out there with the guys, get out there, play around. The crowd was amazing last week. The energy was great, so I'm excited.
That's why I want to go into that crowd of energy. You were probably going to turn around in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Seeing this, was it different than what you expected? Just that week one?
No, it was great, man. You know, just how loud it was. It's just, I love that type of energy. You know, the crowds in it. You feed off of it. I'm a real energy player, so especially on Sundays. I'm kind of pretty even killed throughout the week. On Sundays, I'm pretty turned up when it comes like energy-wise. So I love that the crowd's in it. You know, they're gritty people. My son was in the stands last week and he loved it. So I'm just excited, man. You know, you feel that when you go out there, and another team feels it. So, you know, you need it, especially being at home. It should be your advantage having that crowd. So it's dope.